We are halfway through the qualified players for the SNK World Championships 2025. And if you're someone who hasn't been up to date, that's what this video is for. We got the player stats, we got the player characters, and we have some future plans. Let's talk about them all in this video right now.
Get ready, fighters! A Rome himself production is coming your way!
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Rome himself, and like I just mentioned at the top of this video, we are getting so close to figuring out who our qualified players will be for the SNK World Championships 2025. So starting off here with the actual SNK World Championships. Now, we don't know exactly where it's going to be held at, the time frame of the month, or how many players will be able to qualify, but I feel like SNK is gonna stick to the game plan that they had for the most part, you know, for the SWC that was this year. And I think with that, we should be able to be expecting 32 players minimum in April, because of the fact that Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is coming out in April at the end of that month. I don't think they want to clash and have that game be out already and have the SNK World Championships going. So I'm pretty sure it's going to take place before that. So we should look into that March period yet again. Also, join them this year is going to be Samurai Showdown, but we haven't heard anything about that yet as well either, if they will be qualifiers or a point system or what have you. Taking all those things into account, though, we can forge our opinion and try to figure out exactly where it's going to be at. They had it in Hollywood this year, and I thought it was a really good venue. I liked that place. It was nice, it was intimate, it was cool, it was very like small, right, but in a great way. And the thing is, I know that one of the bigger issues that SNK themselves had was the visa problems, right? The visa matchups that a lot of players deal with, and we lost 4 players who couldn't compete in the SWC because they weren't able to get their visas to come to America. So I think that SNK will be doing this out of the country. Again, I don't know anything, don't quote me, but I think it's a chance we could be getting this outside of the country, whether it's somewhere like Mexico, which a lot of people would like because it would feel really good, right? Or even have it in Japan perhaps, but anywhere in the world. We're still waiting on the exact details of that, but while we wait on those details, I have some guaranteed details here, and that is the players. Shout outs to Liquipedia, the homie N-Cross holding it down here, having all of the results of the SNK World Championship qualifying spots so far, so let's go over them in order. Evo Japan was won by ET, Combo Breaker was won by Violent Kane, Evo 2024 was won by Xiao Hai, FV Major was won by Mad KOF, Versus Fighting 12 was won by Bublon, The Fight 2024 Low Koff, Komite Arena 2024 was from Ramon, Hit Hype Zone Hype Night 2 The Geo, Ultimate Fighting Arena is Tamago, KOF Lux Festa was Lacid, Oz Hado Nationals was Chaiwan, Tiger Uppercut was Moke, and that boy ran amok. And the last 2 qualifiers over the past weekend we had was East Coast Throwdown and Juan KOF, and Fight for Glory was Lao Yagami. The next few events are going to be Astro Finish, Battle Coliseum, CEO Taku, Frosty Faustings, and also there is an anime con here that's not listed. That event is also going to be happening in conjunction with the SNK World Championships online qualifier, which has been happening. As you can see here, they are in the midst of the online qualifiers, which is also taking place. The thing is here, though, you do see some players like Mad KOF and ET that I've mentioned, Xiao Hai as well, and Monk, who are already qualified. So there's going to be some other players here, Zheng Chen, Daybreak, Yunwoo, etc., who's going to be trying their luck in the online tournament as the qualifiers roll through. This will be taking place on 1/1, so January 1st, 2025, the very first tournament of the year. You will find out who's going to be qualifying from this list. With the players out of the way, let's see exactly who they qualified with. As you can see here, this is the list of all the characters, starting from the highest number to the lowest of all the characters that have qualified for the SNK World Championships. Overall, before we break it down, I mean, you can look at it. It obviously shows who's top tier, right? We know Isla's very good. We know Geese, Rio and Benimaru always right there. Clark's there. I think the only surprising factor is that we have 3 Ash players. And let's go on and show off some of the stats from this list. So as you can see, 29 out of the 59 playable characters are used here. That's really good. That's 50% of the cast. That means that all of them are good. It's a really balanced game, as you can see. And a lot of people are finding ways to qualify with certain characters that may not be as high on the tier list, in conjunction with these characters that are juggernauts on the tier list, right? Like your Islas and Geeses. Out of the 14 competitors, we have 8 different countries represented, and of those 8 different countries, the most that are represented right now in the SWC is Mexico, with 4 different representatives here. 4 out of the 14 players that are qualified are brand new to the SWC. The other 10 are returning gladiators from last qualifying event, and the 4 new ones that we have now are Bablan, Lao Yagami, Ramon, and Chaiwan. As of now, Tamago is the only player to qualify through getting it from 2nd place. Losing to Xiaohai at UFA, he got his spot because Xiaohai was already qualified. And reverse of that, Moke is the only player to qualify, beating 2 other qualified players in Lasted and Mad KOF. So looking at the characters here on this list, you can see some interesting choices here. Ash Crimson being this high up, we have 3 Ash players, Chaiwan, we have Bablan, and we have Lasted, right? 3 players who qualified with this character, pushing them really high up on this list. In contrasting, you have Sylvie, who is one of the better anchors in the game, but this Sylvie that's on the list is not even a main character for the player. This was Gio, who normally plays Yuri on this list, which you can see here, who qualified with this Sylvie. But I'm sure as more tournaments happen, we should be able to see more Sylvies. She's still a very strong and dominating character. Another interesting tidbit here, the player with the most one-ofs on their team is Bablan. Bablan is playing K-Dash, Kula, and Kim Kofxv, as well as Ash Crimson. That's the only non-one-off, but yeah, as 3 one-off characters on their team, so getting that far with these characters as well, amazing feat, and I can't wait to see how they do at the tournament. There's only one character excluded from this list, and I didn't feel comfortable adding them, and that's Leona. The way I structured this list, which I probably should have mentioned at the top of this, was I used data from the tournaments that the players qualified, but I only counted the teams that they used in top 3. So if you used, let's say like in Xiaohai's case, if you played random select throughout the whole tournament, that could be anybody. I'm not going to factor that in, but whoever you use during winners, losers, and or grand finals is the characters that we qualified here. And the reason I'm saying this again is because Lasted at the KOF Lux Festival, when Lasted played Mad KOF, they were kind of having fun in grand finals, and one of the teams that Lasted used had Leona on the team, so I don't quite feel good putting her here in the one-off column, because chances are he's not going to use her again. And in fact, he did not use Leona again at Tiger Uppercut. I think him and Mad KOF were just having fun because he already knew that he was going to qualify regardless. My final thoughts on all these characters, again, it's obvious who's the best characters, but we're still seeing a great, interesting mix. Ramon is here. We have 2 Ramones. We had 0 Ramones, 0 Ralphs last year. Look at this pool of 1 players, right? Shingo, Hinako, Angel, Duolan is here. Duolan qualified last year through the LCQ, but still a great healthy mix of characters that you're going to see some of the best players only get better with. And speaking of getting better and improving, I do want to talk about 2 tournaments in particular. Astro Finish, which as you can see here already has a lot of killers signed up here. Sesa Mex, Yurez, Dark Angel, Paco, etc., etc. We have some qualified players already too in Violent Kane and Lokov. Their tournament, and Battle Coliseum, which doesn't have any signups yet. But the reason I am bringing up these 2 tournaments in particular is that if you take a look at these dates right here, 11-17, right? These are both happening the same weekend, but once this is done, the next tournaments after that are going to be in December. And if you remember, December is when we get our season 3 for the game. It's when Vice and Mature comes into the game finally, but also the update, the balance patch, which SNK themselves said they're going to be taking a look at every single character. That balance patch happens in December. That's a whole new game. Once that balance patch happens, whoever you were playing in these previous tournaments here, those characters might get flipped upside down. So if you're playing top tiers like Geese might get shot. If you're playing low tiers like Ramon, hell, he might even get better. A lot of characters have chances to be fleshed out and developed in this newer patch. And again, that's going to make it harder for you. It's crunch time, baby. If you haven't qualified yet with the team you have, it's only going to become harder because you're going to have to deal with other players, learning new teams, learning new strategies, not being as comfortable with the characters you play, which is going to make tournaments like CEO Taku, Frosty Faustings, Anime Con here, and whatever events they begin to add on later on, it's only going to make those events a bit harder, more heavy on just trying to figure out what to do and becoming stronger and just trying to win. And that's going to make for an interesting tournament because in a way we're going to be figuring out who's the new top tiers and how soon can we get better with them and get acclimated with them so we can secure that SNK World Championships qualifier spot. Anyways, that's going to be all for today, guys. I hope that was as simple and concise as possible to understand who's going to be in the SWC, what we're looking at towards the future, and of course, just how hyped this tournament's going to be once all of our players are rounded out, once we figure out the location, and once we figure out the date. Let me know who you're looking forward to, who you want to see qualify, who hasn't yet, and who are you rooting for to win the whole thing. And I am Rome himself. You've been great, and I'll see you next time.
That's all for now, fighters. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow Rome's social media pages down below. Take care, see you next time, and most importantly, thank you for watching.